So for example 3, it says application of factoring. So in the first problem, you're given a problem that's been worked out, and it says find the mistake and correct it. In B, C, and D, these are more story problems that you could see. Maybe something on ISEP, maybe in an assessment for algebra, maybe on a quiz, okay, as well as maybe your homework. So for the first one, let's just go ahead and do X factor. Let's just match up and see, like, okay, are they getting the right numbers here? So we would do 1 times negative 24 is negative 24. We are trying to get to negative 10. So for the factors of 24, there's a lot. We have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Okay, so I agree that 4 and 6 can be 10, or I agree with that. So I'm not, like, I would not write this part down, I would just watch for a second. But if I put in their numbers, negative 4 and negative 6, negative 10 is what you get when you add. But negative times negative should get you a positive, and this is a negative 24. So I can't use 4 and 6 because the puzzle doesn't work out. So is there anything else on this list that could get to a 10? Yes, 2 and 12. Okay, so if I said 2 minus 12, I get negative 10. And 2 times negative 12 gets you the negative 24. So your answer should actually be x plus 2 and x minus 12. And if you've noticed, in all the problems I've done, I always put the smaller number first, the bigger number second. And I have a reason for that, which will come up later. Okay. So in part B, it says find the area of a rectangle, or the area of a rectangle has been given by the trinomial c squared minus 2c minus 35. So you have this triangle. You know that the area of this triangle is c squared minus 2c minus 35. Your goal is to find the possible dimensions. So your width and your length and width. So what I do is I would just use factoring. So 1 times negative 35, put the negative 2 down here, and my factors of 35 are 1 and 35, 5 and 7. So could either of these get to negative 2? Yes. 5 and 7. So now you need to ask yourself which one is negative. Well, 5 minus 7 gives you a negative 2. So my dimensions would be c plus 5 and c minus 7. So please note that you're going to want to make sure that you use the variable that matches the problem. Okay. In letter C, the area of a rectangular desk is given by the trinomial d squared minus 7d minus 18. So here we have this desk. The area inside of this desk is this. And we need to factor to find our length and our width. So we got a 1 here. So 1 times negative 18 is negative 18. And we're trying to get to negative 7. 18 is 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So which one of these pairs can get to negative 7? Has to be 2 and 9. Alright, so 2 minus 9 gives you negative 7. If I multiply, I get negative 18. And they use the letter D, so D plus 2 and D minus 9. Okay, last one. The area of a parallelogram is given by the trinomial x squared minus 14x plus 24. So first of all, let's look at what a parallelogram looks like. So I would draw my parallelogram. Okay. And when you find the area of a parallelogram, the area is base times height. And you have to actually draw the height in because you have these slanted sides here. So your base goes from the top straight down to the bottom. creating a 90-degree angle here. So this is your height. This is your base. It says the base of the parallelogram is x minus 2. Okay? What is the expression for the height of the parallelogram? This is important as well, expression. So our expression will look something like this. Alright, so area is this x squared minus 14x plus 24. I'm going to factor. So 1 times 24 is 24. And I'm trying to get to negative 14. So my factors of 24 and which one of these can get to a negative 14? Well, 2 plus 12 is 14. And that makes sense because if you look, it's the only one over here that has a 2. And part of my answer was already given to me as negative 2. So 2 and 12. I have to add them, so they both need to be negative. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So, what is the height of the parallelogram? The height is x minus 12. Okay? You make sure that you only give the answer of what they're asking. They're asking for the height.